they've obviously got a... Either he interrupts their strat or something that they don't like Rammus.
I guess they're just setting up diamonds for just, for crushing. They're like, well, he, crushed everyone last time, so let's get rid of the jungles he doesn't want to play. He seems to play carries quite nicely. He likes Shyvana a whole lot, and sure, let's just set up all the carry jungles, leave Nocturne in, leave, maybe they're going to drop, hey, the new ban from Sypher. That's not really a surprise, so...
Okay, and the Sypher, they're going to know the M5 from the Empire days, obviously.
Yep.
They've seen that. Shaco actually was banned out last time, so there's something there.
There's some respect bans, yeah.
Obviously, maybe that's like, personally from, like you say, Diamond's point of view, only certain people, he's like, right, okay, I can't really counter against this one, or this one works against what I want to try.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be interested to see whether Shyvana does get banned out here by Sypher, because he even said in the interview, actually, that's probably his favourite person.
Sure. And
I'm sure they can throw Lee Sin or something in there as well.
Yeah, it's not like that they're not going to be good enough to play other champions, but sometimes there just is an element to playing your favorite champion. You just know the nuances that little bit better, even if you don't consciously think it's your best. It actually might still be just because you play it so often. So there's not necessarily a surprise to do that kind of thing. Cassiopeia being banned out now, so they're actually banning out some of these mages, and they're letting Alex, play something else. It feels like the vibe of this game is going to be that Moscow 5 are the ones who are confident coming in and are going to sort of say, we're gonna control the pace. You'll react to us. The insta-lock Sona in there. They're picking very confidently. The insta ban on Rammus, the insta-lock Sona. It's interesting to see them play this way.
Yeah, they clearly have an idea of what they want to pick here. And that's interesting because Sypher generally built a pushing team. Pretty much all in New York was a pushing strat that caught a lot of people out. They did try to do the same thing against AAA, and it didn't quite work out for them. They have gone, here we go, they've gone for Riven up the top. Now, Riven very strong up the top lane. I'm interested to see what Darian's going to pick there. We just saw Darian was the person in the interview there. I think trolling hard. I think the Sypher
there was a couple of laughs in the audience. When
even Sypher said, I think Darian's trying to troll us here. I'm not sure I can hear some strange comings out. Here we go. So we're going to have Rise again in the middle there. Looks like Alex is going to be happy with that one. It is going to be against Morgana, which makes sense, actually. It's a pretty reasonable counter. They sort of cancel each other out, if more than anything.
Yeah, I think Morgana can survive that lane forever. She can push really hard, and they are going to go for the Shyvana again. So they're just grabbing those champions over and over, and apparently Sypher not that worried about Shyvana. So when you look at the lanes, honestly, Riven can get away and Morgana can get away. So aside from a really fast reflex Black Shield, now Rise can be scary there. Rune Prison has a cast time, but no travel time. So if he gets it right away, he's going to be able to lock up Morgana, but she has that Dark Binding. She has the ability to block the rest of the spell damage. Maybe she can get away. Riven just super escapable, although Riven, of course, can also jungle, so Sypher might have grabbed that as, well, we have an option here. What are you going to pick? What's your top lane? What's your jungle? Okay, we can move around as we need, and that is a possibility.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Sypher actually went for the AP carry early on, which is something that often does get left to last. It can easily be countered, possibly showing the hand a little too early. They are going to go for Lee Sin, by the looks of it, in the jungle. Which, Slayer is the jungler, so I'm guessing it's probably going to be him picking it. Hasn't got Smite on him yet, so whether he's going to change that around. Vayne, well, it's kind of a hyper carry that it does need the support, though. It needs nurturing through the early levels. So probably Soraka to go with that, I would guess. So definitely not Janna. We saw so many bad Janna Vayne combos yesterday.
Yeah.
It just didn't work, and it's... Yeah. Are we going to get another... I don't think they're going to go for Kog'Maw this time. I don't think Moscow 5. We're just waiting for...
Just without Nunu, it's not worth it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, so the options there, pretty much all the supports except for Sona are available. They could always run something like Alistair I was thinking for Sypher specifically, but Moscow 5 is pretty much every available option here. They've already locked in their support, and they said, okay, it's an aggressive but healer support, so they may go for some early aggression. They may want to push back Vayne and grab something like Graves or Sypher and kind of come in there. And interesting, actually no typical ranged AD. This is interesting, actually, that they're doing something pretty clever. So they don't have a single, quote-unquote ranged AD champion. Maybe it's Kennen, maybe it's the Gangplank. It could be Shyvana if they don't do a swap there. There's a number of options here. So interesting. Now Sypher has to realize, okay, well, our support pick's going to be in, but are we fighting? Is it Gangplank Sona? Is that the lane there? Is it?
The last time I think I saw this was MLG. Was it EG that ran it? That didn't have a ranged AD, probably a recognized ranged AD.
Yeah, absolutely. And I forget if it was a default roamer or if it was just Riven can do whatever. But so Vayne Janna is the story of the tournament. We're going to have that one again. I don't actually remember the full lineup, but you're right.
Piri is absolutely fantastic on Janna. So if it's going to work, then I would say Piri's going to do it. Piri in New York was just superb. Played Janna all the time. Played very well. Unfortunately, came against Melisande on Sona, who's just immaculate.
Okay, it looks like it's actually going to be Kennen at the bot lane there if the swaps don't keep moving, which is interesting. So, I mean, Kennen Sona's a lot of poke. There's a lot of damage there, a lot of magic damage.
A lot of AE as well.
They're absolutely. They're long range. They can set up, great AoE as you just said. And without a healer, because they've got Janna and not, Soraka or Taric or Alistar, that damage from that long range will stick, and that's actually pretty valuable here. Now, in a teamfight situation, though, they've got that Morgana Black Shield. They've got the ability to use Janna there to push back both Shyvana and Kennen, who really want to get in there to the middle of the team, and you shove them back with that Janna ult. And, the way Shyvana works is she scales with landing attacks. So if she goes in, turns on Burnout, gets pushed back, she doesn't get to land those attacks, and that spell's going to end if she's not going to be in range to deal damage. It's going to time out, and that's honestly pretty powerful there if they can do that correctly. So we'll kind of see they have the ability to do a lot of clever things.
I don't know if you noticed, Darian, the very last second, locked in that teleport. So I think you kind of left it too late for anyone to react. It's the very last second.
You don't see the summoners anyway.
They don't see it, though. Yeah, that's all right, then.
Yeah, so summoners are blind picked anyway.
In that case, it must have been a last-minute discussion.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he's so like, do you want teleporter tonight? You want teleporter tonight? Teleporter tonight.
Make your mind up.
Teleport, go. Okay. Done. So we'll see
Gangplank Riven is pretty much the only counter. It's the only really Aurelia, I think, was banned out.
Yes, Aurelia was banned out. Yes,
was banned out, which is why obviously they picked Riven. They banned out Aurelia. Yeah, it was Sypher. So a reasonable pushing team again from Sypher. They're going to go for the pushes. I think. I mean, Vayne's not your normal one. It's more of a damaging. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And hyper carry style.
Yeah, and also the thing is, I mean, Sona has some good sustain there. You've got CV and Flash can flash away. You've got Summoner heal on Kennen. Actually, you could play ranged AD Kennen. I saw it back in his initial release. People were playing AD Kennen, so it's a possibility, I suppose. But there is the ability for Janna and Vayne to kind of just jump on that bottom lane and deal a lot of damage there. That is absolutely a possibility. Also, one of the stories I want to tell is how much different Group B is from Group A, because one thing we have going on is, we had the interview with SK, and they were like, hey, we really think that Maokai and Skarner are like the top two junglers. If we play them properly, they're going to dominate. And they both just kind of went through, and they were like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. We're just going to play Lee Sin and Shyvana, and they were chill.
Yeah, now we didn't see an invade from Moscow 5 last time, so Sypher kind of went for an invade with AA8. Let's see if they're going to actually do it this time. We did have a full face check before in the last game of the night. Last night we doesn't look like we're going to have too much there. Moscow 5 don't look like they're going too far. It looks like he might go down towards the tri-bush, though.
Yeah, they'll get spotted.
They'll get spotted plenty of time. Yeah, Kennen is...
if they're really cute, they send Morgana here and Dark Binding as they face check. It looks like they're not doing it, but it's a possibility. So you can just... they're going to go... he's too far back.
Just missed it out, and Lee Sin obviously tried to follow it up as well. Immediately they go straight towards
the ward.
One. Yeah, and put the ward down as soon as they went into there. So they're going to back away from that one. They just got a glimpse of Gangplank as well. Ping's gone down at him. I think Darian might well get caught out of position. He's going to have to dive up towards north.
Wow.
I'm not too sure if they saw him. They definitely had a ping down on him. Let's have a quick look around. Darian has managed to back away. Yeah, the ping goes down again. They're really... I think it's just pure guesswork that they happen to
he just made it out.
And he's managed to dodge his way around that one, so he's going to the tri-bush, I guess. Is he going to back away, or is he just... He's got balls of steel, he's going to stick around.
Wow.
Piri's actually come up and put that ward up, so they're going to make sure they don't get ganked. And it's actually interesting that I believe Alex obviously talked about this ward placement here, the fact that Dignitas didn't ward here very much. He came back from his first pick, he got 2 wards, managed to cover out his area, he was completely prepared, whereas Dignitas just didn't do that. This time, Sypher must have been listening, because they've warded it from right at the beginning.
Yeah, but you can see the very early ward there from Piri as well on to that brush, so they're really trying to keep Morgana safe in this one and just letting her try to farm up, but it's a heavy investment from Janna, and Shyvana may not even gank that quickly.
Yeah, we got a steal actually with Shyvana has taken the red, but Darian is actually going for the blue at the moment, and they're just not aware of it. So Darian may well steal it. Of course, he's meant to be the top lane, so he's taken the blue. Very nicely done from Moscow 5 there, and he's going to back away. Obviously, leave those 2 lizards is the word I was after. I got wizards in the brain for some reason. He backs away. Obviously, he's missing out on the experience of top lane, which is probably going to put Sky at maybe at level 2 in a moment, but he will be very close to it. He's teleporting back up towards the top there, so teleport used, and pretty much even in the experience with a blue buff, so that's immediately give the M5 a big advantage.
Yeah, it's going to make it really tough for Riven. You can keep getting those parlay spams going off. Looks like bottom lane already aggressive for Moscow 5. You can see Sona was actually jumping into that brush right there, ready to jump on a... Ooh, Shyvana's... Oh, man, they're jumping onto Darien. Oh, nice. Flashes that key right there, but Shyvana is right behind. Turns on Burnout. There comes the damage output. Shlaya not in great shape. Skyrt jumps in there. Ignite is on. Skyrt, though, not in happy places either. Going to run away with Ghost on. Yeah, and that looks like they're going to be okay. Diamond, yeah, not going to jump into that one either.
Yeah, and they back off, so very nicely played from both teams. Actually going for the counter. Oh, he's still in the tri-bush. I don't think you should realise Diamond might get caught out this time, but takes Shlaya down pretty low, but the kick missing there. And that was going to be back away. He walks away from that quite easily. Darien was there to support him, of course. He can just completely span his abilities early on. Just have a quick look down the bottom, because I can see that M5 are actually pushing quite aggressively on Sypher now. I kind of expected this, but obviously they've got a pretty strong pushing team. The Janna Vayne can be a little bit weak early levels, but it's obviously classed as the hyper carry. Is going to get very strong later on. So we're just catching a glimpse of Shlaya going around going, yeah, my jungle's been cleared out pretty well. We did see Shyvana counter-jungling heavily in the last game. Let's see if he's going to do the same this time. Yeah, it's actually called Rivenbat to come back and pick up the experience off the golems.
Yep, that's working out for him. So you can see the, let's look at the minion counts real quick. Looks like Morgana doing a good job against Ryze right here. He's getting pushed to his turret. He's going to miss maybe a couple right there. Darien, the top lane, 13 versus 10, actually, despite missing out some of those early kills going for the golem. He's already got himself ahead in minion kills. And then the Vayne versus the Kennen. Kennen at 21, Vayne only at 17. So it looks like overall, guild advantage, you can actually tell, is plus 400, plus 300 even at the top. And that's Moscow 5 pulling ahead just from the very beginning without even any kills.
Yeah, now Pepper down the bottom, actually staying in the bush at the top there, avoiding really the experience, obviously the advantage that Genji's going to pick up. Genji's just quite happily farming. Just saw the pings go down on top as well. I wasn't sure whether Lee Sin was going to come down. No, it looks like he's going to head bottom. We can see the pings on the map, obviously they cannot. We'll keep our eye on where Lee Sin is going to go. Lee Sin didn't have that many successful ganks, I don't think Shlaya did in the first game. Didn't work out too well for him, so he's obviously going to try and follow it up. This time they've pushed forward. He's going to go for the ninja gank. No, he's just going to walk straight forward. So I'm here, and that's really going to make Moscow 5 not too worried about ganks. We of course had Diamond mentioning, obviously would come to 6 minutes. They wanted the dragon. We are at 5:20 now, so we're going to see whether they're going to edge towards it this time. They have warded up the river, so yeah, pings go down, so Shlaya may well work his way down the bottom there, but at the moment it's pretty even between these guys. Obviously we've had the advantage. Darien did steal the blue, so that's going to put Lee Sin behind. Just how far behind? He's level 3, Diamonds is level 4. Diamonds is actually quite far in. Yeah, he's put him around about a full level behind.
Yeah, and you can see also it is actually AD Kennen at the bottom of the map. You can see the Doran's Blade, 89 attack damage. He's AD Kennen. I've really not seen that in almost ever. So we'll see how that pans out. Of course, they are still winning this game. 800 gold to the advantage now. And that's just kind of growing over time. So, I mean, Moscow 5 can just play the landing game forever, and that's not the worst thing in the world, to be honest.
Yeah, Shlaya just coming in, taking the Wraith. I think looks like he's going to take all the Wraiths. Yes, he is. He was actually pinged, so Moscow 5 are well aware that he is there. He is just going to leave that one, that cheeky little invade. Shlaya was in the mid covering it in the meantime. And dodges well out of the way of the dark bindings. So Launa, Piri down the bottom. Piri does put the ward, both double wards in the tri-bush. Launet continues to go. It is actually called Trollnet, but it is Launet, I assure you. They do change these names just to try and catch us out from time to time. And looking back towards the top there, we do have Shlaya again. Really, there's nothing for him to have, and there is a ward in that bush. So it's just not been successful. But then again, neither is Shyvana. Oh! Just saw it down the bottom. I thought he got the stun off them for a minute, but no. And this is a tense game. You know, considering M5 were giving it the big talk, they are playing very precariously.
Absolutely, and you know they're getting a little bit low on health too. Vayne's doing some good job harassing. You can see Pepper and Genji both down to about half health. She's still spamming that heals, ranking that one about as equally as the Hymn of Valor. So going for the heal and the damage, not so much that movement speed buff. But still, it looks like they're going to push to that turret. Vayne's going to have to attack a little bit more to keep that from getting on the turret too hard. Does dodge some of those spells there. Good for her. See if they can capitalize off of anything. Looks like a red buff getting stolen as well now by Shyvana. And they do have that ping somewhat. Now, Ryze is coming around as defense, but has been spotted by Riven, has been spotted by Lee Sin. She's level 6 and jumps across the wall, going to be safe completely. Shlaya doesn't get to do much there, and so far that's now 2 buffs stolen. And that's really good for Moscow 5.
So Kennen's just been back and bought, so he's got a triple Doran's Blade now, along with those boots. So, yeah, like you mentioned, you know, AD carry Kennen. Can it be the way forward? Who knows? Moscow 5 may be proving something different again here. So let's see how that one develops. I mean, really, how from your point of view, how does that really affect, when he's popping his ulti, when he's catching everyone out?
I mean, he's very safe, certainly. If you jump on him, he pops the ult. Anyone who's in melee range gets stunned. His W, the little bonus damage there, does tick off of percentage of your AD. So you can look at the tooltip here. He basically has 12% bonus damage. That's basically a passive there. 12% bonus damage, which, Corki's is true damage, but, is 10%. So it's not like it's a terrible passive right there. He can stun people in team fights. He's very escapable. He has that lightning rush to run around. So, as far as anyone else is concerned, sure. Looks like some aggression, though, at the top lane. Rise coming into gank. Darian's nearby. There's the ult coming off. Skyheart, not in a happy place right there. Immediately just blows up. And only to Rise. No one else even nearby. Diamond came to help, but of course, didn't really matter so much. It looks like they're going to get the turret for this as well. And a complete lack of wards. Oh, at the bottom of the map, though, Kennen jumped on Lee Sin, but he got to a minion just in time. Got away, but there's that ult. Again, if you're in melee range, you might get stunned.
Indeed. So, first blood. And, 9 minutes in, so it's been quite a while coming. And that's immediately, though, looks like Sypher may No, they thought about it going for Dragon there. The ping goes down. They are actually going to work their way towards it. They have taken the ward down, so that's surely giving Moscow 5 the warning. Yeah, there goes the Clairvoyance down on them, so they know they're coming around there. Only Sona really nearby, Kennen as well. Remember, the top two have just backed away, so they may pull this one out. Oh, and they've just been baited completely. Actually, only 2 members of Moscow 5 anywhere near, but they've given it up already, so very precautious play there from Sypher. They had really no idea that the rest of the team that were up top, they'd all gone back, so they could have probably taken that one.
And you can see the ward, the ward coverage not that strong. Even they have the one there, they can see them by the wraiths finally, but they had really no other ward coverage. And the thing is, Sono not level 6. Kennen just blew his on Lee Sin. There was no way they were going to win that team fight 2v5. They had no panic buttons or AoEs to do anything. So just a little bit afraid from Sypher, honestly.
So very cautious play. Will that cost them? That's the question. They've just got 1 kill down. They are nearly 2k down in gold, which tells me they're losing out in the lane phases. And 76 CS to Vayne's 45. That's quite a big difference, really.
Yep.
And wow, a flash blown there. Launet just rolled away and flashed. I'm not too sure if that was a kind of a waste, because Kennen had already turned around and backed off.
Yep.
Whether he was expecting the stun to suddenly hit, but Launet blown his flash down the bottom there. And I'm not too sure. I think they're just being overly cautious now. That there is a lot on the line. It's literally a best of one in the group stages. So it is a very tense moment. There's a lot of money involved. Obviously, the points as well. Let's not forget they're aiming to get towards Hanover, the CBIT finals. I think Sypher are actually already qualified because they came third in until Extreme Masters New York, which would have given them enough points. Obviously, Moscow 5 coming into this one with 0 points. They want to go as far as possible.
Yep.
Sypher, of course, want to go as far as possible, but they can be precautious. They've got the benefit of being a little bit more cautious than Moscow 5.
Yeah, and there's actually been a pink ward battle at the bottom as well. Sypher just put down a new pink ward there as Moscow 5 had put one to sort of clear that out. So Dragon Control still actually in the favor of Sypher, but got to be a little bit careful. Kennen doing some nice damage there. And again, without any healing there until, she does have the wriggles, so she'll be okay if she can get some auto attacks in. Piri, though, way too aggressive, getting stunned up and gets dropped by that Sona ult, and he has gone down. That was just honestly silly. You know what those champions can do. And he walked into melee range to get a tornado, and that did not pay off. Moscow 5 may take that 5v4 as the opportunity to go for Dragon. Shyvana is running towards the bottom. It's a possibility. Darian, his teleport is up, so Moscow 5 could go for the Dragon in this next 30 seconds if possible. Yeah, and I think they're ready for it. Alex just blew his ulti in mid there as well to clear that wave and try and push forward. And immediately started walking down towards the bottom. They followed Alex's path. Yeah, you can see that Sona is now working his way up towards mid. Yeah, there is Shyvana. We don't have Darian moving, of course. He has the teleport, so he's going to try and keep Slayer here as long as possible. Riven already moving down, though. They're aware of this one, so Sypher prepping for it. We're going to see the first team fight, I think. Meanwhile, down the bottom here, Kennen also put Launet in all sorts of trouble, and Launet really can't get involved in this fight now, which is immediately going to give them the advantage. Diamonds is going to try and take this Dragon on his own. He's going to have to back away from it. He doesn't really have the full team support. Meanwhile, up the side here, you can see that Sky did get caught out by Alex Ixchad, taken down very low, which means, really, Moscow 5 are going to have the advantage. Oh, we just saw Pepper
up to flash away. Alex does manage to finish Sky out just at the top of the map. They're going to dive in towards it. There goes Shyvana diving in. He's going to have to back away. Move's also going to get caught out. Surely has the black shield up. Walks towards the tower. Hopes it's going to hold him out long enough. Manages to get the dark bunnies down. Dodges around. Genja will finish him off. Back towards the top. There's also going to be another kill. And wow, Moscow 5 just completely rolled that one. It looked a precarious position. Slayer's going to go down. And that was perfection from Moscow 5. A 5-0 sweep. Very well played.
That was phenomenal. The entire time they had Shyvana tanking the dragon and just getting healed by Sona, and just, Sypher was not able to get in there and actually jump onto her. And I really like the move from the Sona as well, where she started getting hit by Morgana early on. The ult went off and she flashed over the wall and was like, my team's going to show up, and then Sona was fine. And Sona, got her health back with Arya Perseverance, and it worked perfectly. She, stopped taking damage and was able to support the team the rest of the way, and they picked up all 5 kills. No one dropped down. They had the great dive in Morgana. Of course, Black Shield's not going to save you from Pirate, and they just got all of it. And even the Riven who came down from the top, she had to fight against the Ryze, and Ryze was like, okay, sure, I'll just kill you, no problem. And so, any sort of part of that fight just went perfectly for them, despite having to take the dragon at the beginning, despite, being seen and being surrounded. They just executed phenomenally.
Yeah, and it started off as many 1v1s effectively, and then just when it came to having to focus, they did it perfectly and just poured on them. 7-0, that banks the score. A huge advantage for Moscow 5, which was just see Shyvana warding up and towards Slayer there. Wouldn't quite have a glimpse of him now. He will do as he backs away. And, just look at the goal. That's a 7k goal difference. Just shy of 15 minutes into this, 14 and a half minutes in. That is a huge difference this early on. And it really will tell. You can look at the items. You can see Ryze is almost getting close to his decent build. You can see just shy of the Catalyst at Banshee's Veil, and he'll be happy. That's it. He's done. He's 2-0 already. 105 CS. So he's a little bit behind the CS from Morgana. That's no surprise. You can just AFK farm in lane. But those 2 kills will make a big difference. Have a look towards the gold. You can see, obviously, they've just been back to spend, but the difference down the bottom, 4,800 for Kennen to 2,700 for Vayne. That is a huge difference. 2,000 gold already, only this shorter time, and you can see what it's actually prevailed into. The Wriggles, Lance, and Berserker Greaves down there. And, of course, that triple Doran. So at the moment, Genja is very, very strong down the bottom here, way ahead of the AD in the middle, down the bottom. Up the top, Darian is... he's been strong from the very start, from that very ballsy manoeuvre taking the blue buff. He's just not really had too many problems with Riven up top.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job. You look at the minions even, and it's 114 to 78. Ouch. And Riven doesn't even have any real bonus armor from items. She's just trying to stack AD, use that shield to try to block parlays. And Darian, of course, with a bunch of points and eating oranges, just never gets pushed out. He's doing so much damage to her. Anytime there's a team fight, he can teleport down. He has his ultimate as well for any ganks. He's just completely dominating that lane as it's going.
Absolute domination. So Moscow 5 looking very strong. They look good versus Dignitas at the moment. Sypher are finding out just why they were so highly touted before this tournament. And also often I've come into tournaments where someone's been so highly touted and it's gone badly. It's fell flat on its face. But Moscow 5, they've been prepared. They came here a week early. They know the area very well. Riven gets picked off there. Didn't watch Alex coming through the jungle.
Turret, though,
following Darian coming round. Yeah, he actually came up from the red area there. So Alex working his way up. Meanwhile, back down the bottom. Guzo Pepper has just been caught out. But they're just so afraid of Shyvana. They didn't follow up on it there. Despite the fact Lee Sin and Morgana were both there. They completely caught him out. Just didn't want to go for it. Very, very worried, so very precautious, and it's actually working in Moscow 5's favour because they've got this air of confidence about them now that it's actually making these teams worried. So AAA are going to be watching this one. Mr. Top Kill got there just in time before he dropped dead, and Darian is starting to steamroll. 305 at the top there. That tower's going to go down in a second. He doesn't care. He's just taking the minions, continue farming the gold. He's not in any rush to take that turret down, but the rest of the team, they're so far ahead. Nearly 10k gold already, just shy of 17 minutes into this game. They are dominant.
Yeah, they're absolutely in the driver's seat now. But, the thing to remember, of course, while they are very far ahead, is part of Sypher's strategy was investing in hyper carries. They have Vayne, they have Riven. These champions scale phenomenally well with items and have CC and utility and movement to boot. So if anything can get to that unstoppable status, they can actually keep themselves there as well. But they've just not been having that happen so far. The mid game power from Gangplank, from the Kennen, from Sona, from Shyvana. They've all done phenomenally well. And every single one of them is ahead. And zero deaths obviously is kind of a big deal. So They've just been getting themselves farther ahead, and you keep mentioning the gold difference, and it's now broken more than 10,000. Morgana just gets run at by a -2 levels Shyvana. Like, level 10 versus 12, I'm going to go dive you at your turret. Like, that's kind of the playstyle they're going for, and it's been working out.
And it's just the confidence, and Sypher kind of just so cautious. We saw it right from the start, where they could have got that dragon early on.
Baron.
They are going for a Baron. 18-minute Baron here from Moscow 5, and looking at the damage on Kennen, he's actually, despite the fact he has got an AD, he's got a lot of AD damage in there. He's got that BF sword already. He's obviously got the Wriggles Lantern as well. Don't forget, it's a triple Wriggles Lantern as well, because Gangplank and Shyvana have both got one as well. So very quick Baron there, and Sypher did just about spot it. But it didn't even have... Gangplank didn't even bother going help. It's just you guys got that covered.
Yeah, seriously. And maybe he did that, try to fake them out and say, well, I'm going to keep pushing. We know you have the power. Let's not make it look like Baron, because I'll stay in lane. But still, the point remains, 17 minutes in, they 4v5 or 4v0 Baron. That's still pretty impressive, in terms of getting enough gold there. And you see them just chopping at another turret. They've now gotten all the outer turrets for themselves. And, Gangplank's still pushing top, and that's down below half health. The ult goes off as well, just to... he pushed back Vayne on that turret. Okay, he did that to help defend a turret. I was like, are they going for a team fight? I'm confused. But another turret going down. That's 4 of them. And Schley should be a little bit afraid right here. He's going to jump in, and they're going to go for some damage here, actually. Pirate taking a bit there. Ribbon's going to pop her ult, and let's see if they can do this. The 2v1, and actually Janna coming in as well. So, we'll see. But, oh, wow, Schley getting hit pretty hard by Darien. Shyvana's still around. There's a stun. Eats oranges. Another Q goes off. Will he flash? He will. And Schley's going to go for it. Janna comes in as well. There's a knockup. Dark Binding misses. The ult comes off. Darien will drop down just barely, but here comes Sona, and that's 1 kill. They're going to try to get the rest as well with Kennen coming around, but that's just, it's a 4v1, and you get 1 kill and trade it out. That's really harsh, and oh my gosh, the damage onto Vayne almost drops down to just 1 half combo from this guy.
You could almost say there was tons of damage there.
Tons of damage was dealt by Rise right there. It was harsh. I mean, that was just painful.
And meanwhile, in the middle, Shyvana didn't even bother following that up. He's going to continue pushing on towards this mid turret. And you know what? I think, Alex is going to come around here. They're going to have a very good go to this. They just have the tank minion with them. They're taking the red buff as well, so it's stealing all the enemy buffs as well. Shyvana, you can just see the damage he's pouring onto that turret now. Is he going to back away? No, he's not. He's just like, you know what? I can take this on my own. I don't need to worry about the rest of Sypher coming back. I was just stripping off, 2,000 hit points pretty much off that. Taking the red buff as well, Genja. And clears out the wraiths to boot, so very much in control, way ahead in gold. I think that's like 14k now nearly ahead in gold, just 20 minutes into this one. Baron buff's probably going to run out very shortly, so it's just about 2/3 in, so whether they're going to go back and buy complete, I mean, Kennen must be sitting on a stack of gold, 2,000 gold in him, Shyvana 2,900 gold, hasn't even gone back to buy yet, but I mean, just look at the difference, the AD carries, 4,000 gold to just shy of 8,000 gold, so, that is a huge difference, double the gold difference for just your AD carries. Banshee's Veil now completed as well by Rise in the middle there, so Rise is miles ahead as well. He's not too bad, it's only 1,000 difference from Morgana. Morgana can obviously farm quite easily with that pool, but overall there would have to be some sort of nuclear airstrike, I think, for Sypher to actually come back and win this one.
Yeah, they've got the gold almost doubled. Oh my gosh. Recall on the brush. I mean, actually, they might catch Gangplank with that, which could be good. And they're going to go for it. Ribbon, they're going to go for a lot of damage here. The ult goes off, and he's completely alone here. But Shyvana comes in, and that could be scary. Janna popping the ultimate. They might get enough durability out of that. But
behind them.
Oh, wow. Yep, here comes Rise. And Rise about to two-shot everyone on that team. Janna not in a happy place. Getting hit now by Sona as well. Gangplank to the front, and that will be the kill. Shyvana picking that one up.
Dive.
2 dead, nothing else left. And Morgana dropping as well to that Kennen up in the base. And they've got all 5 here going for this turret. And Alex is just kind of tanking minions, doesn't really care too much. He's going to be fine. Has the Glacial Shroud and the Banshee's Veil, so a rather durable Rise at that.
He's going for the kill. So Alex ignoring the tower, so I'm going to get Riven. Don't worry about me, you guys. I'll be right back. Look at this. They really want the kills. This is GG. I don't think there's going to be any worry. They're just going to go straight through towards the Nexus turrets possibly. They still have that Baron buff, remember, almost running out. The rest of Sypher are just respawning, and that's going to be Launa getting popped immediately there. They saw the crescendo go across. Only really caught one player though, but that's going to be the first Nexus turret going down. Oh, they've got Piri out again, and it's really just a case of Alex picking him off. He said in his interview. It's down to whoever has the CZ will make the call, and it seems to be working very well in Moscow Favour's advantage. That's the final Nexus turret down, and they will just take this Nexus straight down. Schleier's going to pop beforehand, will go on the fountain. He escapes it. And wow. Really, that was a incredible performance from Moscow 5. Let's not take anything away from there. This is Sypher. Sypher came third at IEM New York, the last IEM event, and they beat CLG to get that third place. They're not an easy team to beat, but really, they got made to look completely average. They got 1 kill in that entire game, 15-1. That is a big score.
Yeah, and that does make Darian a feeder, of course. He is 4-1-8, which is... just depressing, man. You died. He had the most gold in his team, but he still gave up that death. So I kind of feel like